The ladies were settling in for the night, and I received a call to come downstairs to handle a situation. A 6'1" man, dressed in a pink nightgown with a pink suitcase, was standing at the door. He was extremely inebriated, very belligerent, and had a gash down his face, and it was bleeding. He had been delivered there by the police because he wanted to stay in a woman's shelter. The police brought him to the door and just left him. It was obvious to me that he needed medical attention, so I called him a taxi and paid for him to go to the hospital to get stitches. He thanked me, called me Mother Teresa, and went on his way. After he left, the women in the shelter were visibly shaken. Many knew him from the streets. He was a violent man. Several told me that if I had allowed him to stay in the shelter, they would have left that night and gone and slept in the woods, and this is in the middle of January in Alaska, because they felt unsafe if he would have stayed there. They had actually surrounded the walls of the shelter, getting away from him when he was in there, and understandably so. Asking a survivor of sex trafficking or sexual assault to sleep 3 feet away of a man would destroy the very safety they came to find. Within a week, I received a letter from the city of Anchorage. This gentleman filed a complaint with the Anchorage Equal Rights Commission against the Downtown Hope Center, alleging discrimination based on gender identity. The city opened up an investigation and attempted to force us to allow men into our women's shelter, even though the city's own ordinance contained an exemption for homeless shelters. But the pressure to let men sleep next to women didn't stop. So to protect the privacy and the dignity of the women in our care, we had to file a federal lawsuit. Our mission has always been clear. We serve everybody, we feed everybody, we clothe everybody. To this day, the man who filed the complaint still comes to our soup kitchen for lunch. But at night, our shelter is for women only. Thankfully, with the help of the Alliance Defending Freedom, the court ruled in our favor. But that wasn't the end of the story. Instead of accepting the court's decision, the city of Anchorage changed its non-discrimination ordinance and tried again to make us allow men into our women's shelter. This forced us into a second lawsuit. Thankfully, the courts again protected our freedom to exist consistent with our belief that God created men and women distinct in design. Our freedom to serve women should never have required years of litigation. Freedom is a God-given right, not a privilege granted by whoever holds power.